Hi, this is Donna from Clever Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today we are having a close look at our new release Australian Animal Stamp, Die and Mask set and the Christmas hats add-on set. So this is an add-on set that'll go with the original Stamp and Die. We will have other add-on sets being released through the year. So first of all, I just wanted to go through what's in the pack, and we will be looking closely at the masks today. But you get all of the dies, and of course you get the stamps, and you get the masks. Now this is like a stencil for the stamps, and these masks, which is the purpose of this video to show you how to use them, are made out of PVC plastic. It's a very fine, so it doesn't give you too much of an edge when you're using them as masks, if any at all in actual fact. And they're all cut to the right size, so I'm just showing you that there. So the best thing that you can do is to prepare these masks. Now I use one of these sticky mats. I've got a silhouette machine, so I've got a few of these around. So I like to put these upside down on the mat. Now I'm actually doing the same with my Aussie animals set, because they also come with the masks, and we will be using, well, at least one of these today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray them. I use this particular spray adhesive. What you want to do is make sure you get one that is repositionable. You can use it as a permanent one, but it is also repositionable. So I'm going to nip outside and spray it. There we go. That was very quick, wasn't it? You can see that I've just sprayed that there. You need to leave that to dry. Now I've left that for a good hour, and you can see that the glue has gone basically transparent. You can't really see it. And I store mine on the actual acetate packaging that my stamps are in. So I stick them onto that so they keep nice and neat. All right, so let's have a look at how we're going to use them. So I'm going to create a little multi-layered card today. I'm going to start with a matte layer. So this is a separate layer, and I'm going to stamp my hat. Now I want to stamp the hat because the hat's actually going to be the top layer, and when we're masking, we're going to stamp the top layer first. So I'm going to give this a double stamp to make sure that it's well inked up. And because I'm going to paint these today, I'm going to heat emboss them. In actual fact, no matter what I do, if I'm going to be colouring, whether I do with alcohol markers or if I'm going to use inks as a watercolour, which is what I'm doing today, if I'm using watercolour markers or anything at all, I generally always do a heat embossing. So I use my VersaFine, I beg your pardon, black, and then I use clear embossing powder. All right, now I've stuck that mask on. The mask is going to sit beautifully because I sprayed that adhesive over the back of it, that temporary adhesive. And now I'm going to position my kookaburra. Now I want the hat to look like it's on the kookaburra, so the hat is clearly going to be at the front, so I put the mask over it. And what you see me doing here is I'm also going to use the gum leaves out of Among the Gum Trees Stamp and Die set that's also just been released, because I was just seeing where I wanted that kookaburra positioned, because I'll be using leaves as well. So now I'm just stamping the kookaburra. Once again, I'm going to give it a second layer of stamping to make sure it's really nicely inked up. Using a stamping platform is a real benefit when you're doing this. So I do recommend that if you don't have one, that you invest in one. All right, so you can see there where I took the mask off, that it looks like the hat is sitting over the kookaburra's head. So that's the advantage of a mask. I also just put the clear embossing powder on that, and now I'm just going to use these inks to, I've forgotten the name of the first one actually. Mermaid Lagoon is the blue that I'm using, and Hickory Smoke. Sorry about that little lapse then. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to get my brush on my water pen wet, and you can see that all I've done is add some of the ink on that stamping block. I'm going to do the same with my Hickory Smoke. Now, I'm not the world's greatest colorist. Really, there are some amazing people on YouTube that do coloring. I do basic coloring. I find I love using this watercolor effect with the ink because I find that it gives me shading really well. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of black soot because there's a couple of places I want it a little bit darker than what my Hickory Smoke will give me. So the black soot is perfect for that. Alright, so now that I've done that, I'm going to position my gum leaves. Now I want my kookaburra to be sitting on my gum leaves, so I need to put the masks on. So you can see I've put the hat mask on and I've put my kookaburra mask on, and now I'm going to stamp my gum leaves. So inking it up, obviously making sure it's well inked. And there we go. I did stamp that twice as well, but I cut one out because, you know, you've seen it a few times now. And look, that's just come up beautifully with the leaves behind the kookaburra. So I'm just heat embossing that. Now I don't think I do all of the colouring of the leaves on screen. In fact, I think I had a problem with my camera. I did. And you also didn't see me cut it. So I used the new metric rectangles, the stitched ones, to cut my piece out, and I used lumberjack plaid all around the outside edge of my card base, and I'm going to pop that in the middle. You didn't see me glue that, but I did glue that down. I also colored the background for my stamp, which is in the add-on pack, that Merry Christmas, and the 2 dies for that to give it a lovely shadow, and that has given us this beautiful card. So I want to thank you very much for joining me today. If you would like to get any of these products or any more information, you'll find links down below. There'll also be a link to our Facebook group, so it would be lovely if you wanted to come and join us over there on Facebook, so you can see all of the lovely creations that a lot of people are making. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. In the meantime, I would like you all to stay safe and happy crafting.